Marto, we've just had a whole week, mate. You had that Posey Parker woman over at your place. She comes here, and I tell you what, if we could bottle that protest and actually give it to the All Blacks before they drove hard into a ruck, there was mauling, there was biffing, it was old school, there was punching, there was head-butting, you name it, mate. It all went on.
We did have a few people weren't happy with it. I hope there was no violence, was there?
No, there was, mate. Look, honestly, here's a woman who came over here, let women speak. It was just, because the police in New Zealand, what they do these days is if you've got a rainbow tick on, the police aren't allowed to touch you. So they just stood by as all of these people just harangued and harassed, poured tomato stuff all over. I mean, whether you like what she's saying or not, I don't really care that much, to be honest. But what I saw, though, was I saw the kind of old school rucking that you used to be involved with.
What was it, reckless or intentional? Like, how many weeks would they get?
Totally
how
intentional.
How many weeks
mate.
would they get?
Oh, look, I mean, no, nothing. No, there's no punishment at all for anyone who inflicted anything upon her. So that's how New Zealand is these days, mate.
All right. Have you declared your hand? If you pull your shorts at the front, look down. If there's something there, you're a black man.
Yep.
If there's not, you're not a man. Okay.
Well, that's not how New Zealand is these days. The way New Zealand is we've been explained by our Minister of the Prevention for Violence, who said that white men are responsible for everything evil in the world. But because we're not white men, we're now called cis men, which means that we were assigned a gender when we were born. But that's that's not who. I mean, can you actually even get your head around this? I mean, okay, here's a really simple way to tell. Open shorts, look down. That means if it dangles, you go to the boys' toilet. If it doesn't, you go to the girl. Now, there's some who are in between, obviously, but normally that's a good way to tell, isn't it?
Well, certainly from the day, because when you're born, the doctor doesn't go, I think I've got a trans on my hand.
No,
here. You guys are ahead of us.
Oh, no, we're just stupid,
I won't
mate.
often say, apart from rugby, New Zealand's ahead of us, but you've got more woke dickheads than here, I reckon.
Oh, I don't, no. But police, we've got a parliament full of them, mate. Anyway, let's talk the proper stuff. Let's talk the sport.
Yeah,
and cock-a-doodle-doo, and congratulations, the Dolphins cap is off the head.
I should send you a photo. I've got it here somewhere. Oh, it's filthy too. Thank God. Thank God the bubble has been burst. I could take that festering thing off. Oh, mate, it's been hard, mate. It's set the city against each other last week, but things have come back together, and everyone goes, "Oh no, I support both teams." So we're beautiful luxury of Broncos and Dolphins support. Oh yeah, are you allowed to do that?
No, you can't do that. I mean, what kind of...
you're one of those guys.
Mate, you choose one or other. It's like your sexuality. You can't be both, mate. You got to be one or t'other, Dolphins or Broncos.
You can be one. Oh, well, all right. I'll also send you a photo of Pataling shorts.
Yeah.
I've got one half Dolphins, one half Broncos.
Oh,
mate, I'm on radio in a town of 2 million people.
Yes.
I've got to try to make as many people as possible happy.
That crowd was extraordinary, and that game was great too. That was a really good armoury. So I love those kind of local derbies like that. 50-something thousand people at Suncorp, mate. That's sport.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It was actually last Friday. It's pretty quiet this weekend, but last Friday there was 30,000 people 2 kilometres across watching the Lions play AFL. So there are 82,000 drunk people wandering around at 11 o'clock on last Friday night. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, the Claxton Street's just magnificent at times like that, isn't it?
Have you been there?
Look,
have you ever seen a stadium that's so close to a city and has so many bars next to it? People go, oh, it's the greatest stadium on earth. And that's not just because of the field and the stadium. It's because there's bars. Because a game of rugby and a game of rugby league doesn't just go for 80 minutes. It goes for anything up to 12 hours. There's that 4 hours beforehand where you got to get a bit of food into you, a bit of drink, then a little bit of the gamey thing, and then you're back to the pub. That's what footy's properly all about. Is
totally, mate.
Big. It's not just about the stadium. What's around it? What have you got? Eden Park?
Yeah, no, Eden Park, and you're not even allowed to have a sausage sizzle or actually rent your driveway for a car park these days. They've killed every bit of fun there is.
You can't do that anymore.
Can't even do it, no, mate. It's just they've killed every bit of fun around it, mate. There used to be kids selling lollies. You used to actually meet the people on the street. The amount of places that somebody'd yell out, "Devo, coming for a beer, mate!" You know, I mean, that's what happens when you're on the radio, don't you? You get people all of a sudden wanting you to skull this and neck this and carry on.
Exactly.
Used to be fun,
and they don't pull your shorts out and go, are you a man or a woman?
No.
They go, come on in, I'll take all comers.
That's pretty much. Your Reds have got the Crusaders this weekend, mate. How are you tracking?
Poorly, mate. We're looking like nothing. We're not a proper Super Rugby team, I've decided, after watching last weekend, and did a quick run around of former players, old teammates, etc. No one's watching. It's just atrocious. We're embarrassed by what we're seeing from the Reds. Ball handling it. It's not Thorny's fault, I know that. We don't have the cattle, mate.
Yeah.
We simply do not have the cattle. We've got an under-strength team. We've got about 6 good players and about 10 bad ones. So Crusaders are in for a picnic tonight.
So in terms of picking a Wallaby side, though, are you confident, though, with Eddie Jones, mate, in charge, that you're actually going to get 23, 30 something to go to a World Cup? Are you going to have a decent enough squad?
No.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Have you watched any of the Rebels games?
Look, they won last weekend. They beat your lot last weekend.
Yeah. But have you seen the 5'8", the one with the mullet playing fly half there for the Rebels? He's a sneaky tip. He's a Brisbane boy who went down to Melbourne. Sneaky tip to be the Wallabies 5'8" this year. Because Quade Cooper, what's his name? Eddie loves Quade Cooper. But keep an eye on that Carter Gordon, his name is. He could be the bolter to guide us at the World Cup. And I know people say you can turn a team around. We got 5 tests before the World Cup starts. We are long odds, mate, of winning anything.
Most amusing story out of Australia this week, sports-wise, for us, was the Joseph Suaalii thing. And watching Volandis and McLennan go at it, we've all been in toxic relationships. We've all been in that one where it's ended and, you just snipe at each other. We're like dinner. No, I don't eat. Can I make you a cup of tea? You always make a bad one. That's what these two are like, aren't they? They can't sit on the couch with the remote and decide what to watch. It's hilarious, mate.
Well, Eddie, I tell you what has happened, and the Wallabies, of course, haven't played a game, and Super Rugby's been going 5 or 6 weeks or whatever. Eddie Jones simply being in Australia is starting to get rugby back in the paper, despite nothing's happened. And then it gives the chairman, that Hamish McLennan, he signed Suaalii without telling anyone. Didn't tell Eddie, didn't tell anyone. He just went right ahead. So he's a loose cannon, our chairman. And I can't see him winning too many battles. But did you watch Suaalii play last night?
Yeah, brilliant.
The Wallabies, that bloke at fullback. Good Lord, he's a beauty.
Yeah, but it's just like Israel Folau at fullback. He just changed your whole team. You started to win tests. Oh, that's right. Oh, you didn't really, did you? No. Okay. The other thing, mate, is that if you're Michael Hooper, I mean, when McLennan's just saying, we're making 100 million out of the Lions, 100 million we're going to make out of the World Cup. We've just spent 6 million on this bloke, mate. If you're Michael Hooper, you're going, listen, I've actually played 100 and something tests for my country. I've actually been battered and bruised. Yeah, I might actually like a little bit more on my plate, huh?
Yep. Oh, well, I think there's a bit of that going on. What about if you're a junior footy club who's having to raise the money, having a raffle, all their volunteers, and there's no money left for grassroots rugby? That's where we're at in Australia. There's no money for grassroots rugby. All the money's getting done at the point, getting spent at the pointy end, and that's probably the biggest problem over here with rugby.
Finally, mate, I tell you what, Melbourne is a place to be this weekend. I mean, we both love our supercars, mate, but when you throw in the glitz and the glamour and the pageantry, the F1 as well, it's a hell of a weekend down there. Eh? Greedy buggers, mate. Why do they get all the sport down there?
The Melbourne Cup, the AFL Grand Final.
Tennis, Rod Laver. Yeah.
Exactly. None of them watch the race. If I asked anyone there, like let's say there's 100,000 people there on Sunday for the race, if I asked all of them, I reckon 12 of them would be able to tell you what just happened. None of them are watching the race. It's some sort of a drinking music festival to them. They're all just show ponies. They're not interested in cars. That's my take. Okay, so you just got supermodels wandering around with champagne, all looking like Kim Kardashian. Exactly
who wants to be involved in that?
Is this a thing in New Zealand? Hey, who's what?
Who wants to be involved in that? Beautiful women everywhere and glitz and glamour and champagne.
Yeah, I mean, free alcohol.
Yeah.
And loud cars.
I
don't know what the joy people get. I'll tell you what has happened is people have started watching that Drive to Survive.
Yes.
Is that big in New Zealand?
Oh, yeah, it was for the first couple of seasons, mate. You get bored with it though, don't you?
Oh, not really. Again, refer to good-looking drivers, supermodels, and alcohol.
Yeah, I love it, mate. I've watched all the episodes, of course, man. Instead,
don't you reckon maybe they need to do that at Formula One? There needs to be a passenger in the car, like a supermodel.
Now you're talking,
hanging
mate.
outside with the hair flowing.
Now you're talking.
That'll get the crowds, mate.
All right, I've got to finish on the fact that, mate, we've had a southerly blow up the country here. Long pants are back on, mate. People are actually putting hoodies.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's the end of March, but it's already starting to feel a little bit cold. You still sweltering?
I know what you mean. It got down to 21 this morning in Brisbane. Whew.
Yeah. I mean, who would, eh? Who would? Are you finishing?
Why are all these Kiwis moving here? I
understand.
Can't work it out.
Are you finishing the afternoon back on the chainsaw and the ute?
Oh, mate, I almost died. It was still 32 degrees yesterday. I'm still building. Anyway, I don't want to talk about it. I'm building the fence, and then the deck's starting in the next few weeks, apparently. Wouldn't you love to get somebody to come and build your house for free, like my daughter is? Wouldn't you love that?
Free labour. Yeah. Look at all the added value to our house. We didn't have to pay for this.
Yeah, didn't have nothing. How much it cost? Free. My dad did it. Oh, really? He must be really young and sprightly. No, he's old and it broke him. Oh, what did Dad die of? Building my house. Oh, okay.